When it rains, it really pours, doesn't it? For years, the Indian market went without Audi's popular small luxury SUV, the Q3, and now in 2023, we have two of them. Last year, they launched the standard Q3 SUV, and now we have this, the Q3 Sportback. This car aims to bring some of that coupe SUV flair from the larger segments down into this one. But the real question is, has it worked? The big draw here is visual differentiation, so let's look at what's new. Audi has been clever to save its sporty S-line styling package exclusively for the Q3 Sportback. What this gets you is far more aggressive front and rear bumpers with big brushed silver trim inserts, a hexagonal mesh pattern for the grille with more brushed silver elements rather than the vertical chrome slats in the standard SUV, and a sportier V-spoke design for the 18-inch alloy wheels. This striking turbo blue paint shade is also exclusive to this version. Then of course there's the sloping roof itself, although the execution is perhaps not quite as graceful as larger coupe SUVs like the Q8 or the e-tron Sportback. Either way, it'll certainly draw attention, and that gives the Q3 Sportback a look like no other SUV on sale right now. But what do you think of the Q3 Sportback's design? Let us know down in the comments below, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to Autocar India. Now, first things first, let's answer an important question. Now, as you might have seen, there was a bit of a duck to get into the cabin, and with that, let's address the elephant in the room. With the coupe body style has come a compromise in headroom. When Nikhil sat in the standard Q3 SUV, he said he had enough room, and he's nearly 6 feet tall. I'm under 5'8", and though I have some clearance here, I imagine taller passengers won't have it so easy. You see, when you're on a much larger SUV, turning it into a coupe is pretty much okay because you have so much more space to work with in the first place. But when the car is already quite small, to make it smaller still does lead to a compromise. Still, the rest of the seating is pretty good with a comfortable bench, enough knee room, and the ability to slide it back and forth and even do a bit of recline, although really the fully reclined position is the one you want. It is best for two thanks to the way it's contoured, and all in all, it's a pretty comfortable place. However, you no longer get the panoramic sunroof. The sunroof is now just restricted to the one at the front. Though Audi quotes the exact same 530-litre boot capacity for both the standard and Sportback versions of the Q3, real usable space is obviously less here, but I think you'll agree it's still quite a lot. And that's while also housing a space-saver spare tyre underneath. Now let's take the Sportback for a spin to see what's new on the inside. Now from here where I'm sitting, things are pretty much exactly the same as in the standard Q3, and that's no bad thing at all. Build quality, fit and finish is all top notch, and the design takes on this nice new rakish layered look. It's in keeping with modern Audis and it suits this car really well. There's a nice mix of colors and textures. There's a bit of sort of carbon fiber effect on the top of the dash, a silver effect on the front of the dash, a nice Quattro badge which is also backlit by ambient lighting. It all looks really nice. Up here you have the crisp set of new virtual cockpit digital dials which can even show you the full map, and a nice well-built Audi steering wheel. Over here you have the latest Audi MMI touchscreen. There is no click wheel controller this time, and that was to be expected. But what's also interesting is that this time there's no secondary touchscreen like there is in some of the bigger Audis, the A6, the A7, the A8 and the Q8. No, down here you get a set of physical knobs for the AC controls, which is actually very good to use on the move, and some physical buttons for operating the drive modes and other such functions. The front seats too, very comfortable and powered, but surprisingly there's no memory function, not even for the driver's side. It's also a pretty feature-packed cabin, and here you can take a look at all the features on this Audi Q3 Sportback. Now the powertrain remains exactly the same as the standard Q3 too, and that's a 2-litre TFSI turbo petrol engine with 190 horsepower mated to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox and quattro all-wheel drive. Yes, Audi doesn't do diesel anymore, so of course there's no diesel here, but perhaps you won't miss it as much in this car as you would in the standard Q3. After all, if you chose the Sportback, practicality wasn't at the top of your priority list in the first place. But then, as petrol powertrains go, this is one of the best out there. 190 horsepower is a lot of room for this size of car. Quattro all-wheel drive gives you that grip and that extra reassurance in the corners, and overall it's a very agreeable car to drive, if not an outright exciting one. It's very benign, very predictable and very reassuring. The steering has enough weight, but more than anything else it's light enough at city speeds, and really I think that takes precedence over outright steering sharpness in a car like this. The suspension is great. It's a little soft, it errs on the side of comfort, and that's just fine. You don't want an all-out sports car with a car like this, and really it manages to do a great job in pretty much any scenario. Even when you want to really lean on it and push it hard through corners, it's surprisingly rewarding. And when you want to just kick back and take it easy, it can do that too. Put it into one of its more comfortable or efficient driving modes. The throttle becomes very relaxed, so does the steering, and it is an absolute cinch to drive. It's even very refined. The gear shifts are also really smooth, and if you have it in efficiency mode and use the stop-start system, you could even get pretty decent fuel economy. All things considered, a pretty nice experience from behind the wheel. So then, what do we think? Well, generally speaking, coupe SUVs take the inherently practical SUV body style, remove some of that practicality, and then charge you a premium for it. And this being a compact coupe SUV, you really do feel the loss in headroom in the back seat. However, at 51.43 lakh rupees ex-showroom, the premium you pay is small too. In fact, it costs just a lakh more than the standard Q3. But then that car was one of the pricier cars in the segment. So yes, you will have to consider the trade-off between style and practicality here, but really, if you don't have rear seat passengers all that often, it's not really a problem at all. Because what you're getting with the Q3 Sportback is a head-turning SUV in a compact size that's also superbly built, well-equipped, luxurious, comfortable and great to drive too. But that's just us. What do you think about the Q3 Sportback? Let us know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.